Hello there. I'm Brad Loomis, professional natural bodybuilder and master powerlifter. I'm a contest prep coach for powerlifters and cosmetic athletes with 3D Muscle Journey. I'm also sponsored by AST Sports Science and proud to represent their brand. However, that's not all that I am. I'm also a devoted family man, a CAT scan tech, and a devout Catholic. A life like mine is not at all glamorous, at least not as some would lead you to believe. Don't get me wrong, there are some high points, but it's mostly just a lot of hard work. And it's quite boring, especially for a guy like me, with below average genetics for bodybuilding and only putting up average to maybe above average numbers in powerlifting. However, that didn't really matter to me. I love my life as a family man, and I love my life as a coach. However, I really love to train. I don't train to compete. I compete on occasion because I love to train. And this is my grind.
So today's not a real fun day. Had to rearrange my schedule a wee bit. It's Saturday, and normally I have about 6 or 8 people who report in on Saturdays. But today I had to move people around a little bit. They're gonna either check in, some of them checked in a little bit earlier, some of them are gonna check in a little bit later, and then some of them are gonna just basically take the weekend off from checking in. And the reason I had to do that is my other job in Reno, I had a coworker that passed away, so I'm gonna go attend his service today. But athletes are really understanding, which I'm really appreciative of, is that they do, tend to know that we are human too, and that we have needs and things, and times like this kind of arise, and they're very understanding. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. Not a whole lot else. I've already done one Skype session. I'm going to write up a brand new program for a new client, and I'll be on the road, and I'll probably do my training later on tonight. The way you're going to log is I've got your lifts here, your loads here, okay? Stick to those just as outlined. And what I want you to do is right here record your last set RPE. You can click right there, pull down menu, and you pick your RPE from the list there, okay? So that's the big thing. Now, you're a savvy guy in the gym. I'm not going to tell you how to complete this week worth of work, okay? However, I would advise that you probably start your week with your moderate lifts, and then maybe end your week with the heavier lifts. And that way you keep to roughly the same frequency that you have been adhering to, okay? Now, here's your big lifts here. As you scroll down, here is your accessory work. Again, you're going to assign your last set RPE right here, okay? You're going to pick the loads on your accessory work. So I want you, starting out, to pick the loads that you feel will get you the reps that we need with an RPE of roughly 8.5, okay? Now, obviously, if you missed guess, that's fine. No big deal. We'll just have to adjust accordingly in latter weeks. But I do want to know your last set RPE. Same thing here. There's a little pull-down menu. Click, pull down, choose the exercise that you want, okay? And then we want to make sure that we stick to those exercises for the most part so that we can track our volume, okay, which is going to be recorded here. So let's talk about that real briefly. Regardless of how this looks to you, this right here is the tonnage for those lifts. In this case, your squat. In this case, your bench. In this case, your deadlift, okay? Based on the workouts that you sent me prior to our starting, this is more tonnage than your last 2 microcycles of your last training, okay? So it's a quantifiable fact that we are increasing volume. Now, that will be monitored here. You can see tentatively for week 2, the first week of our volume will be increasing roughly 20 to 30% on your big lifts, okay? Now, that will be adjusted by me when you report in based on your last set RPE, Okay, so we're starting out with an introductory volume microcycle, which is more tonnage than you have been doing the last 2 weeks. And then each week we'll monitor the change in volume. And this is average volume, keep in mind, okay, based on what you were doing before. And average intensity here, based on average intensity across all your lifts, okay. As you scroll over, you can see your weeks of training. Right here in week 3, which is the second microcycle of your volume training, we are going to add AMRAPs to squat and bench. Okay, so you will punch the number of repetitions that you got in your AMRAP set here. And then also give me your last set RPE on your AMRAP. If you failed, of course, you'll put an 11. Okay, and then you'll see that in the 3rd week of your volume cycle, we're going to add an AMRAP on your deadlift, okay? Well, howdy, gang. It's about, I think it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And as you can see, yes, it is indeed snowing. And yes, indeed, I am going to get my training, and I feel like I need it today. But luckily, I've made a new addition to my Billy Funk Memorial Gym, and that I've built this nice little overhang here, and keeps the snow and the rain off of me. And I've even kind of somewhat overbuilt it, as those little supports right there, they kind of help hold it up in the wintertime, so I can take those out during the summertime. But we get a lot of snow here, and you need to kind of overbuild these things. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna just luckily it's not a long workout, and I don't have a lot of squat training to do and deadlift training, because even my platform here that you can kind of see, it's sturdy, but it's still wet. And I just got some bench training to do, and some seal rows, and then I'll probably just do some accessory work in the house. And I'll have to check my Helms Go list to see what that entails.